This is a difficult one for me to touch on without rambling a little bit because Google's complicated and they don't like to make anything simple. But I will try to summarize it as simply as possible from business owners' terms and focus. What is a core update? So Google makes updates all the time to their algorithm every day. And they have hundreds of different, if not thousands of different criteria that they're looking at when they decide how they want to rank a website in a search result. A core update is a major change to the algorithm's code. And this can have far-reaching impacts into the performance of your website or whether or not your business shows up locally in a search pack.
Yeah, and for us simple folk, it's like working on your car. You clean the windshield, you put some gas in it, you dust her off. These happen, all the time. The core update is when you change out the transmission or the engine. You can do it the right way or you can do it the wrong way, and it'll have serious implications.
And what we often see when a core update happens is a lot of volatility in reporting. Volatility is when we see metrics that have been holding pretty steady, like impression rate, click-through rate, and other things that we measure in Google Analytics or Google Search Console. So when we see these suddenly fluctuate pretty dramatically, it usually correlates with a Google core update. And if you have not met Google's new criteria for whatever they consider to be high value, you can also notice the beginning of a trend, and that trend can be downhill.
She means your car blows up and you're on the side of the road.
This is one of the reasons why it's very valuable for business owners to have routine reporting in place for their website performance, because you want to be able to catch these changes and trends early so that you can check and see what was happening at that time and what Google's new requirements are, because they never really let up on business owners. They keep making it more difficult. It's what they do.
So what Cassie is saying, especially in this example, is find yourself a trusted mechanic, somebody who's going to break it down into terms you can understand and define a clear path. What are we going to do to solve this? What are we going to make sure we don't break down and end up on the side of the road? Let's get ahead of these problems.
So a couple key things you can do as a business owner to try and mitigate the complexity that is the world of Google is to have regular reporting done and check to see if you're experiencing volatility. This can also go the other way. You can see spikes in performance that are not relevant to an existing campaign. And sometimes they come back down, and that's not necessarily bad. So monthly or quarterly reporting, I would say quarterly at the least, monthly is preferred on your website performance metrics. And if you have noticed that you've been impacted and that you are on a downward trajectory, take the time to have either a digital marketing specialist or an SEO specialist run an audit of your website to see maybe what aspects you're missing from the Google algorithm update that can be changed to improve the site.
So bring the car in, we'll look at it for free, poke around under the hood, poke around in the inside, get in the trunk even, and we'll see, what are some things you're doing right, what are some things you're doing wrong.
Also recommend having a strong content calendar in place. While content itself needs to be even better than ever before, it's not entirely going away as we move forward. And if you've skirted by without really updating your website a lot with fresh content, you're probably not going to be able to get away with that for much longer. It's best to have a content strategy that both supports your website updates and social media. You want them all to work together very cohesively. So,
this adding content to the website, that's more of the filling your car up with gas, because, you put a tank in, that'll only run so long. You got to then fill it up again. Drive around, fill it up again. Google's the same way. They're looking at your website the same way. Are you just running on empty, or have you been filling that tank over and over? Otherwise, you're just going to fall back behind.
regular reporting, a good strong content calendar, and get an audit to see maybe if there's some things that you can change now before you get penalized, or if you're experiencing issues.
Take care of your car, guys. It's not that hard. Let's fill it up with gas. Let's clean the windshield off. Let's get it into the shop, someone you trust. And you want to keep, let's maintain it. You want to maintain it. It's the same for your website. We can't just have it sitting, rotting out there in internet space. Get in there, take care of it, or find someone that can do it for you. Thanks, guys.
Hope this was helpful.